You're listening to the CVS show on Phonic FM 106.8, bringing news from the voluntary and community sector in Exeter. Exeter CVS runs the local volunteer centre, offers affordable learning in IT, management and personal development, and gives membership support to charities and community groups across the city. Visit www.exetercvs.org.uk or call 01392 20 20 55 to find out more.
The local sound alternative 24 hours a day. Phonic FM on 106.8 FM.
Yes, it is Phonic FM. It's the Thursday afternoon CVS show. I'm joined by a special guest this afternoon. I've got Anne-Marie and Samantha from Encounter Arts.
Encounter Theatre and Therapy.
Encounter Theatre and Therapy, sorry.
Thank you. Cool.
And we're going to be talking about an exhibition that's coming up at the CVS. And like everybody at the CVS is really excited about this. So what's happening is the CVS is doing its official opening launch of the Wellbeing Hub and the CoLab. And you guys are involved in creating an art exhibition within our wonderful atrium. What's that all about? Tell us all about it.
Well, I'll just start off because it's interesting you said Encounters Arts. So actually what we're following on from is an amazing tradition, because Encounters Arts came to CVS in its very early stages of developing the building.
That's why I think,
now.
Yeah, because I met them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're Encounter Theatre and Therapy. We're coming in, we're doing the inaugural event in the atrium space, which is this beautiful, wonderful open area, which is the welcome space, basically, of the CVS building.
Yeah, so it's an artist residency with the University of Exeter. So I've been working with Charlotte Wilde and Anastasia Somerville-Wong up in the law department at the university to develop this project. So we'll be at CVS throughout the month of June, starting with Anne-Marie and I setting it up, and then we're opening to the public from the 6th to the 27th of June.
Okay.
And it's an opportunity for people to come together to discuss the themes of the exhibition, to create artwork for themselves, to share that digitally on the blog, and to decide how they want to copyright their work. And it's a way of looking at the different traditions that we all have, our customs, our identity, our heritage, and looking at how some of that is intangible, as in not just object or building based, but all of the things like the intricacies of the stories and the ways we do things, the ways we share together. So it's creating art about things like that, as well as considering marginalisation and difficult circumstances that can make it a challenge for us to participate within culture and the different cultures around us. And so it's a conglomeration of all those things, and a chance to play together and explore together and to create something as Exeter at the new CVS building.
Yeah, I mean, Exeter has become so much more of a cultural hub than it used to be years ago. I mean, there's so many different people, and I think one of the themes of the Wellbeing Hub there is working with people who are marginalised. People who come in to use the space in the building, are they going to be involved as well? Is it really anyone who wants to get involved, they can?
Anybody that's over the age of 18 can come in. We have put up some signs, or we will have put up some signs to say that there could be some sensitive content in there, but everybody is welcome. It will be a really welcoming space, and yes, everybody over the age of 18 is very welcome to get involved. We look forward to welcoming as many different types of people as possible, whoever's passing by, whoever sees the posters, volunteers, people that work at CVS, people that catch the blog or see us on social media, come along and get involved. Everybody's welcome.
So tell us about you guys and the work that you do normally with Encounter.
Okay, so I'm Anne-Marie for voice recognition purposes. So I've lived around Exeter for about 20 years now. I originally came to the university for a drama degree, and then I stayed down here as a community artist, working in various different places. Whoops, there goes my bottle. Various different places.
Sound effect.
And then raised a family. And then later on, I retrained as a drama therapist, which is where I met Samantha on the Exeter-based course. And so our work's very much been focused by that training into dealing with much more vulnerable populations, having the skills to do that, to be able to really support people in their creativity and their self-exploration. And that's what this work is coming out of, is it's ourselves as drama therapists, facilitators, but also very much as artists as our core, and wanting to facilitate these arts experiences not just for ourselves but also for other people to get involved.
Yes, so we're really excited about developing responsive pieces of work where the people that take part aren't just participants or audience members in the traditional way, but they're participants and co-creators with us. So in terms of this exhibition, we're following on that trend and that theme in our work to develop the exhibition over the course of the month. So whoever comes along will shape what happens next, and the next generation of people that come the next day or to the next workshop, they'll inherit what's happened before, what's been created by the people that came the day or the week before, and they'll be able to add to that and to change that. And so we're really creating a shared culture together, and that's what we're particularly interested in terms of the theatre work that we do, the drama therapy work that we do, and the training that we're developing.
So yeah, the idea, that's brilliant. I mean, the idea that the culture is intangible, I find quite fascinating. So I think that's going to be fascinating for people. But we want volunteers as well, don't we?
We do want volunteers, yes please. It's a great opportunity to get involved with the nuts and bolts of the exhibition, to really understand how we're putting this process together, or just to have more contact with the artwork, more contact with the people that are coming to the exhibition. So we're looking for people to get involved with all sorts of different things. You can either steward the exhibition, you can come along as a photographer, you can come along and help us on our blog development days and help us to upload the artwork that's staying onto the blog. There's all sorts of things you can do, so let us know what your skills are. If they're people skills, if they're digital skills, come along and let us know, and you are very welcome to be part of this amazing process.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be useful for people to be involved, I think, because we've had a few courses at CVS recently, people get involved with social media and blogging and vlogging, so they kind of come along and learn it, and they can get a chance to use it as well.
Great. So there's people out there that have those skills and know they have an interest in volunteering. So yes, if you've already done a course at CVS and enjoyed it, then please do come along, volunteer for this exhibition and start applying those skills in an amazing community arts project.
Sounds fantastic. Should we have a bit of music?
Yes, please.
The CVS Show on Phonic FM. Find out more about community and voluntary work in Exeter at www.exetercvs.org.uk. Visit us weekdays 9:30 to 4:30 on King William Street, or call 01392 20 20 55.
Yes, do give us a call on 20 20 55 or pop in. And if you pop in the next few weeks, it's going to be very interesting as you walk through the door, because I'm joined this afternoon by Anne-Marie and Samantha, who are going to be putting on What's Mine Is Yours is the name of the exhibition, and it's yours with the Y in brackets.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the title for that? Because that's part of a wider sort of thing that Exeter are doing at the moment, isn't it, up at the university?
That's right. It's part of the Exeter Inquires initiative, and how we came up with the title for the exhibition is quite interesting. I was speaking with Naomi Glanville, the arts and culture coordinator up at the university, and Anne-Marie and I had been involved in all the conversations with her, and she started to echo the project back to us, and she started saying, so what's the essence of this project? And it is in essence about cultural ownership and sharing, and so the Y is in brackets to show that ours, what's mine is ours, what's mine is yours, and we're posing that as a question: who owns culture, who owns cultural heritage, and what can we share of our cultural heritage?
Because copyright is one of the big things, so there's something that you're going to be doing each day in terms of copyright, isn't there?
That's right.
Getting people to kind of copyright their things as they create them, or not, or
Yeah, the idea is when you come into the space, there'll be two sides to the exhibition. So on one side is a consenting side, is what we're calling it, where you'll be asked to actually give copyright consent to the piece of artwork that you're making. We'll talk you through what that means. We'll explain it really clearly and have dialogue with the participants about what it means to assert copyright onto a piece of work and the different types of copyright that are available. And that's where the academic research is being disseminated, which is kind of the point of the Exeter Inquires programme, is to bring academic knowledge out of the university and out into the public sphere.
Okay.
So that's our role as the artists, is to get people to play with these ideas and explore them in a real way. And then on the other side of the exhibition is what we're calling the non-consenting side. So if you as a participant choose that you don't want to get involved in all that red tape and paperwork and you just want to create art, then you'll be on that side of the exhibition where you're not going to be getting involved in that sort of level of consideration about the work. But then there's repercussions, and that's kind of the game, if you like, is there's repercussions to the choices that you make that day.
Okay, because if people want to see your work, or you want them to see it, then it kind of moves into an area where paperwork becomes necessary. You know, there's things to go through, isn't there?
Absolutely, because we're alongside the exhibition, we're capturing the art through digital processes. So we're filming it, we're taking photos of it, we're using a blog, and in order for us as artists to be able to do that with other people's work, we need their permission, and we need that to be signed and sealed, if you like, in the copyright law.
Yeah.
So again, that's the ideas that we're playing with, but we want this to be a very playful, exploratory place, not anything.
Not just like a legal room where you sign stuff.
Exactly. And then it's playing that idea out of going, okay, this can become an absolute minefield every time you try and see an image you like on the internet, or you want to listen to some music. It gets really confusing for just the regular person on the street.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that as the exploration, but we're also dealing with some really serious issues, as Samantha explained, because we're also dealing with something about culture, about heritage, about identity, about ownership, about who we are as people and who we are as a greater community in Exeter.
I mean, we had an interesting copyright thing at the CVS where we used to run a course where we would take a group of people who were learning horticulture down to the Eden Project. And the Eden Project were brilliant. They used to put on a brilliant day for us. And one of the guys on one of the courses was really into his photography. I might ask him to come and get involved, actually.
Great.
Derek. And he took some brilliant photos. He went home on his computer and he did a beautiful montage of it and called it A Perfect Day. And he added the song on, and it was the BBC version where it had everyone with David Bowie and the one that had everybody on it. And it worked brilliantly. So we wanted to put it on our website. So I contacted the BBC and said, can we do this? And they said, well, actually, we don't mind you doing it, but you are going to have to contact every single artist who was on that record and get them to agree to it. And I think, that was a bit of a mammoth task, really, trying to track down, Heather from M People and everybody else. So we didn't do it in the end. But that was interesting. I had no idea that that's what copyright actually meant. You have to kind of contact the artist themselves, even if they only did like 3 words on it. Tammy Wynette does about 3 words on it, I think.
Yeah. And taking that into an everyday context. So another thing that's going to be happening in this exhibition space is what we're calling tangification sessions.
Oh, yeah, I want to know what that is, yeah.
So when you turn something that's intangible, so it's not a physical thing that you can grasp, into a physical thing, it's called tangifying it. And that's what happens when we take a digital capturing. So if we film something or take a photograph. So if you imagine being in that space and you're creating your artwork and somebody's filming you in that act of creating your artwork, so you're actually becoming a performer in the space.
Yeah.
A whole world of copyright comes into play, because you've got the person who made the film, you've got the performer themselves have copyright, you have an awful lot of little intricacies, and again, that's what we're trying to unpick, is to try and help us as everyday people understand how these laws affect us.
Who owns what? Yeah.
And how we can use it, because we want to put this film onto our blog, which will then become an ongoing thing for an indefinite period. So again, it's getting the right permissions from the right people in the right way, and still being able to be free and creative at the same time. It's a really interesting balance.
We teach volunteers in the law as part of what we do. If you've got someone who works for you and they're a paid member of staff and they create something, like whether it's something visual or a database or a poster, then as a company you own that. If you've got a volunteer and they create it, they own it. So that's kind of the sort of things that who owns what is
Yeah.
It's one of the essences of what you're doing, really.
Definitely. And we're not going in there pretending that we know all the answers anyway. That's why we've got this wonderful backup of Anastasia and Charlotte, our two academics. So we'll also have kind of like any questions we can't answer in the moment, if they're not there that day, then we'll have a way of being able to keep that dialogue going. We've got the Twitter, we've got the blog. We can keep those questions going out to the greater academic and law creating sphere and say, well, this is the kind of questions that come out of this as an active process.
So are they going to be there? Is it going to be the four of you there?
There will be times when there will be the four of us there. I'm just shaping up the dates as to who's going to be there at what time. Amory and I will be there for most of the exhibition, and Charlotte and Anastasia will be dropping in for different events.
Yeah.
So the different events that we've got the drop-in sessions, which are where we're facilitating you to take part in the exhibition, to create your own artwork, and just to respond to the exhibition themes and generally be in the space and get together in that way. Then we've got times when Amory and I are in the space developing the blog, uploading the Creative Commons copyrights that have been chosen and putting them on the blog and asking questions and writing different things about what's been happening in the space. Then we've got the performance tangification sessions, which are 2 sets of 2-day workshops, the first on the 8th and the 9th of June, and the second on the 21st and 22nd of June. And that's particularly where we're inviting anybody that wants to create more performative work to come along, to spend most of the first day creating work, getting to know each other, and then digitizing that and looking at those copyright issues within that process. So that's really a time to focus in on what does this mean to create artwork and to tangify intangible cultural heritage within this project. So there's those 2 sets of 2 days. We've got what we're calling capturing culture discussion groups, which are focus groups again around intangible cultural heritage, the themes of the exhibition, where we can get together and to discuss all of the ethical and interesting questions that's coming out of the work. And they are on the Tuesday 14th in the afternoon of June, and then Thursday 16th in the evening. So then we've also got a public engagement evening on the 23rd of June. So we've got all sorts happening, and certainly we're hoping that Professor Charlotte Wild and Dr. Anastasia Somerville-Wong will be able to be with us to present the ideas and the project on that day, evening. Yeah. And so we're looking for volunteers for all of those different things. So please do come, get involved if you've got an idea about which thing might be most interesting to you. Yes, then there's all sorts. That sounds
brilliant. And if questions are coming out of it, then you can always pop into us next door and say, can you just tweet this out and see what comes back?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of like connecting with people in that way as well.
Great. We want it to be as dynamic and live a process as possible over the month, and for it to just emerge and grow and become all sorts of things. And that's why I think there's a potential volunteer. I think this could be a really exciting opportunity, because we're quite an unusual arts organisation, and we have really unusual working processes. Yeah. So we're hoping that the volunteers that might be listening right now or might see this opportunity posted on your website will realise that they're going to get experience in how to arts project manage and how to get involved in the nitty-gritty of what skills do you need in order to create something like this as a community piece of artwork. And there's also the academic sphere. So how do you translate some really interesting academic research into a public exhibition? We'll be talking about contemporary performance. They'll be learning a lot of those kinds of skills. There's digital capturing, which we've already spoken about. And the more serious background of this entire exhibition is that we are looking at marginalisation and supporting vulnerable people and supporting identity tensions, if you like, and the traumas that can live around that. So trauma awareness is another theme of this exhibition, because we are holding that awareness that lives here.
It does, yeah.
And we'll be really working very much with our volunteers along the whole process to help them to learn and to grow and to have a really good experience alongside us.
Yes, I mean, while it's great to have some volunteers involved who've got all these skills, it's just as important to have people who just want to learn. And
Absolutely, yeah. We're really, really happy to have people come forward that are willing and able to just be with us and learn these things as well. We're not just asking for people that already know it. It's actually exciting for us to think that we can share this knowledge that we've gained. So.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a learning process for us as well. We're being innovative in our practice and pushing our boundaries and learning more every day. We're so excited to see what we discover in this process. So other people that want to learn and are open to finding out new things and to discovering something about themselves that they didn't know before. That's the type of attitude that's really, really something that will help us to take the exhibition forward.
Yeah, in a way, you don't want to give too much away. You want people to kind of come in quite open to what might happen when they get in and get involved. But I mean, you were saying earlier that there are you've got all the artist materials that people would expect, sort of professional artist materials. So it's like the paints and the charcoal and that kind of stuff. So there is what people see familiarly as art.
Yes, right.
Plus loads of other stuff as well.
Exactly. So who knows what will happen? That's the exciting thing about it, that it's a safe and welcoming environment for surprising, wonderful things to happen and for us to share together, create together and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much. How do people get in touch with you?
Right. The best way is to contact me, Samantha, at s.wraith@exeter.ac.uk, and you can also find other contact details through the University of Exeter Arts and Culture website.
Yeah.
And it's the What's Mine Is Yours project. And so you can find that, on that website. And then as we get going, we've got a wonderful project blog that is currently just a skeleton waiting to happen. And it's www.wmiycocreate.com. So wmiycocreate.com.
Brilliant.
What's Mine Is Yours, cocreate.com.
And also you can find the contacts on our website. Just give us a call at CVS 2020 55, or just look in today's Express and Echo because there's a little advert in there for volunteers. So Anne-Marie and Samantha, thank you so much. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be brilliant. And
we are too.
Yeah, we want people to come along, get involved, come along, have a look, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and an absolutely huge thanks to CVS, because right from when we first started talking to Amanda about this, there's been so much enthusiasm and positivity and support, and it's wonderful. We're very excited to be landing on your doorstep next Wednesday.
That's good. We're looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, John. Thank you, and a thank you to Exeter Phoenix for the supporting kind as well, and to everybody
brilliant.
else so far.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
You've been listening to the CVS show on Phonic FM. The show was produced by John Stammers and Nick Kiss for Exeter CVS. For more information about any of the issues raised in this programme, visit www.exetercvs.org.uk, email cvs@exetercvs.org.uk, call 01392 2020 55, or visit us weekdays 9:30 to 4:30 on King William Street. Exeter CVS is a registered charity supporting the community and voluntary sector in Exeter.